Onward here with Years of Years, and it's This Week in Disney for February 28th to March 6th.
There you go, right through the hides.
We're so excited.
Awesome.
It's awesome. The year's rolling right along, a little fast.
A good year. A good year. It always goes fast when it's fun.
Has been fun for sure. And today we're going to start off our big topic with something really fun, at least we thought was very fun. Back on March 6th, so the end of the week, really, in 2020, Onward, a computer animated urban fantasy film, was released.
Yes.
So by Pixar.
Absolutely.
So this was hard, right?
Yes.
Because March, it was released in 2020, and then
it was the last big release before pandemic.
Right. So then the theaters all shut down. Mm-hmm. So of course this film did not do well in theaters. I mean, I don't think it's fair that that's even like rated or judged.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I don't think it's even like kind of discussed. I mean, there was such big plans for it. I mean, we were very excited about Onward in general.
Yeah.
Like we had just really started kind of doing Clark's vlogs and vlogs in general. And we were planning a road trip. She's wearing Gary Con t-shirt. Yes. I work with Gary Con convention.
Well, I love this year at Gary Con. That was good.
And the family of the creators of Dungeons and Dragons. And we were like going to be like Onward road tripping.
Yes.
It was the year of the popcorn bucket. It was like license plates. They had like a boxed game planned for release, like a tabletop game that like did get released, but it was really planned for release. I mean, this is like the last giveaway poster at the theater, at the AMC, at Disney Springs. Like it was hype.
And
it was on.
We had the hats.
They gave away the hats at AMC.
Right.
I mean, this was a release.
Which
this
was
is
good
like
because the day that we went there, it was like cold. Miles put it on right away.
Yeah.
There's actually a video of you guys talking about Onward if you want to check that out.
We were very hyped.
Yeah, Miles and Brad. We were all hyped, but Miles and Brad were really cute about talking about Onward.
This is the quest for Glory t-shirt.
Yes.
Wait. Why am I saying that wrong? That's like a Sierra game. All right, move on.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
Isn't it? Okay. So this film was cool too because the cast was really, the voice actors were so cool that they picked. So Tom Holland, Spider-Man. So that was exciting. I remember Miles was really excited that Tom Holland was going to be in it. And then Chris Pratt. And actually they're friends. And apparently they did a lot of most of the voice actors didn't work together. Except those two, because they're already friends. So I really like that element. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the mom, she did great. And then Octavia Spencer as the Manticore. She did really good.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Right? Like, just like playing D&D over the years and then to have like this particular Manticore. I love what they do with the film and how it's just really funny. Yeah. It's really cool. And we'll talk more about that in a bit. But so like I said, it didn't do well in theaters, but it did really, really well in the direct to video
Disney Plus.
Or the,
streaming.
It's called like VOD. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people were watching those.
Mm-hmm.
Right away. You could watch it.
It was one of the early major releases of Disney Plus.
Video on demand.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, July of 2017, Pixar announced that they were going to do a suburban fantasy world at the D23 Expo. Mm-hmm. And Dan Scanlon directing and Corey Ray producing. Yeah. And the film was inspired by the death of Scanlon's father. And when he and his older brother were very young children, just like in the film. And so he actually had found tapes of his father, hearing a clip of his father.
And that is
really
something I think a lot
him.
of fathers think about doing and do. It's very wonderful.
Yeah, and so that element of the film, I really thought that played into like D&D as well.
Okay.
Because I don't know, it's just
certainly the culture of the game.
Right,
Yeah.
and set back in the 70s, even like thinking of Gary Gygax passing away, maybe a lot younger than the Gygax family would have liked.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. And so I don't know, it made me think of that too. But I love the element of the brothers, going on this quest with their dad, and they didn't really know him as well.
The older brother's passion and everything. Yeah.
Right.
And I think speaking to the film itself and its choice to make it when they did, history will never really be able to like show, but they were right on the pulse. Like we're going to be seeing Lord of the Rings is actually a great long time ago. And we're getting ready for like a whole new age of fantasy movies and fantasy films.
There's the whole new Lord of the Rings show.
That's good. That's good.
Know.
Yes. But these are going to focus on Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop RPGs, like a lot of these films and shows that will be coming out.
Yeah.
So Disney was right on the pulse to establish themselves in that arena with even a game and be squarely in that space.
I think everything just sort of like slowed down because of what happened, and like reality was so shifted that things would be so different if the world events didn't happen. I think that because
it's actually
so
important.
many people, so many kids, like our friends' kids or people we meet at the parks, and their kids play D&D and do online gaming now, and
it's the industry that I work in.
Yes, it is. So it's just, it's really popular, and it's a good time for it.
It is very important that we continue to like remember Onward and talk about it, and hopefully that Disney does too. It's
I hope so.
Because otherwise it's like literally, there have been rumors in the past that Disney was in talks to buy Hasbro that owns Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. So if that ever happened, the timing was probably better before.
Right.
But if that ever happened, that would solve this problem. But they really, Onward is an important IP for the next 5 to 15 years.
Right. The music was really good for it too.
There you go.
Yeah, so the music was...
Isn't that like on Chris Pratt's soundtrack or contract? It says must require good soundtrack.
Phil and Tim Hansroth. This was also the first Pixar film that Lasseter had nothing to do with.
Okay.
So that's just adding that, because that's a first because he was highly involved in the company. So the animation...
And his tone is lacking and missed. Yeah. There is a Pixar tone that is not in that film.
I really liked the animation. I thought the animation was fabulous, and they worked really hard on the magic for it. They wanted it to have a lightness to it. They used technologies and such to make the magic really special. I think they did really well, especially coming from someone who enjoys Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like the magic should be really quality, because when you're dealing with that, it's your imagination.
And in Disney, magic is so important.
It is. It is. Important. So I think they did well, and I like the animation. They actually went back and studied other Disney films that had magic. So they studied Fantasia, Aladdin, and Hercules. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I feel those films. I feel elements of that in the roundness and the light that they really worked hard to have. So I think it was fantastic.
It's a successful film, and it's rewatchable.
They did hand-drawn drawings for this.
Okay.
So that's where they were getting a lot of that depth and quality. Hand-drawn, animation is incredible. Of course, they didn't use that completely, but they did in the process use hand-drawn. So
watch it if you missed that.
Yeah, have you guys seen Onward? No. One more thing.
What?
Let's just go. I found this article about the D&D element with the three major things from Dungeons and Dragons that are iconic and in the film, which I just think are fun to talk about. So first, we already talked about the Manticore, but that has been around since I hope I say the right year. I believe it's 1979. Okay. So it didn't come. Manticore was not there
in the first
edition. At the first edition. It was the advanced D&D.
Okay,
so
very good.
Do you remember what year? 1977.
Beautiful.
That's the year. And then, so everybody knows the Manticore in D&D, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this creature that eats the flesh of men. That's what it does. There you go. It's a scary creature, right?
It's a man-eater. Oh,
it's a man.
here it comes.
Yeah. I was wondering, is that where
Watch
that
out,
song
boy.
comes from?
It'll eat you up.
No. So then, of course, the Manticore in the film is just trying really hard to keep, because now years have passed and she owns a tavern, which is really like an Applebee's, and she's dealing with kids running around and customers.
Epic
and
party level too.
It's just a mess, and her fury
Master
is
marketing.
Gone.
Yeah.
And so when they get to her, they're just kind of like, okay, this is what we get from Manticore.
Right.
So
Element
I
two.
mentioned that element 2 because the second thing that happens a lot is you start your D&D adventure in a tavern, right? That happens a lot. And so they really started their quest in the tavern with the Manticore.
Okay.
Like everything
The trope is there.
Yeah, because that's when they find all the things they need to start.
Okay.
And so it's really just laughing about the fact that so many, I don't remember all of a lot of our adventures, but there's always a tavern at some point.
Indeed.
You need sustenance, right? So that's gonna happen, right? So I love that part. But anyway, and then
3.
the last one.
Dun-dun-dun.
I love this one, and this was from 1974 when D&D.
Okay, right away.
That's
OD&D, white box.
So connected to that 74. Yes. But anyway, the gelatinous cube.
There you go.
Don't you love that?
So that is a large gelatin cube that moves through dungeon corridors and basically sucks them clean of all debris and scat and everything. But it also encounters.
Once you get in there, it's going to slowly eat you.
Right. And it will hold you and just digest you, everything but the metal. So gelatinous cube.
It's a first level monster.
Wow.
But it definitely can be tricky.
Oh, it is very. You're saying it's first level because it's easily avoidable.
Right, you just gotta
not engage it.
Around.
Yeah, not have it slurped down on you.
It doesn't have anything to grab you or anything. It's just you literally have to accidentally walk into this thing. I feel like.
Okay.
I don't know. It depends on your.
I'm a bad dungeon master.
Your dungeon master. But the gelatinous cube is a cool, totally iconic Dungeons and Dragons.
In Onward.
It's like a Dalek, like the first Daleks.
That's fair.
Slow moving. They couldn't
the Dalek
fly.
of D&D.
They just had.
Fair enough.
At least they had guns.
Wow. This is so off course.
I'm so
are
sorry.
we even still Disney?
We are.
But that's the beauty of Onward, is that's what it brings to Disney. So embrace it and remember it.
We love it. Tell me what you think of Onward in the comments. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. I think you'll love it. But moving on to the rest of this week. Okay, February 28th. So we're going
almost a time warp back.
Yep. 2004. The Earl of Sandwich opens at Disney. Well, it wasn't called Disney Springs then. It was called Downtown Disney. So the Earl of Sandwich. So this is important. So cool. I think it's really cool. If y'all didn't know, the Earl of Sandwich was actually created by John Montague, and he is actually the 11th descendant of the Earl of Sandwich, the actual
Earl of Sandwich in Disney Springs.
The sandwich
created by the descendant of the Lord and creator of Sandwich.
Exactly, in conjunction with the chief executive of Planet Hollywood. Yeah. So go. Have you had it? It's really good. I really like the sandwiches there.
Yeah. Don't mistake it for just like a chain that you haven't been to. It's a legitimate theme tied to the roots.
Yeah.
Of the Earl of Sandwich.
So go check it out if you guys need a quick service, quick bite to eat at Disney Springs. It's definitely worth it for sure. And then moving on to March 1st, 1924. Really important. If you haven't seen this, Disney's first Alice comedy. 1924, that was a long time ago. Alice's Day at
Almost
Sea.
100 years.
Yeah. Right? Wow. That's amazing. So you can go, check it out. Check out pictures and stuff for this online.
And
but there's
featured,
also featured at
there you go.
One Man's Dream over there at Hollywood Studios.
Right by Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, you
Runaway,
get some time to hang out in there. They do change things, but they have that.
That's, So what they change is, like during Onward, they had an awesome display there with like the wand and statues and
That was cool.
all sorts of things.
Yeah. Then, moving on ahead to 1941, Walt Disney's speech, Our America Culture, is broadcast. So this is like with the stress of the war and everything. And during the intermission of the Metropolitan Opera. And his words include, "Once a man has tasted freedom, he will never be content to be a slave. That is why I believe that the frightfulness we see everywhere today is only temporary. Tomorrow will be better, for as long as America keeps alive the ideals of freedom and a better life, all men will want to be free and share our way of life. There must be so much that I should have said but haven't. What I will say now is just what most of us are probably thinking every day. I thank God and America for the right to live and raise my family under the flag of tolerance, democracy, and freedom." So
Nice.
they actually, Michael Eisner, when he was the CEO at the time, actually used the speech again after the
In 2011 or 2001.
after 9/11.
So they drew
right
from Walt's
from these
like
words.
legacy and comfort
Yeah.
during 9/11.
Yeah, and I just thought it was good to bring that up right now with everything going on, you know?
Oh, of
and
course.
yeah, and I think it could be said for the world.
Indeed.
Yeah, for
Indeed.
sure.
And a dream
Comfort.
that like
Yeah.
honestly, so many of the like things that he was checking off there,
Right.
we have advanced so much in, and like
Since
thank you,
yeah.
you know, because we're all like part of that,
Right.
you know, but still to be realized.
Because we're talking about what? That's 81 years since he said that.
But so much good.
Wow. That's
So
a
much
lot.
good.
All right.
On our way.
Moving
Onward.
on to March 2nd, 1951, the Donald Duck short. You guys can check out a dude duck.
Okay.
I was like, what is this going to be about when I first... And then it's like actually about
Yeah.
Donald going to a dude ranch.
Yeah. And I heard her
So
slip in a
adorable.
yawl a little bit earlier. I don't know the timestamp on it, but yeah, moving on south, her text is coming out all the time, catching her dropping the yalls all the time.
I was talking to my friend today, and she has a really big Southern accent, so it's just coming through. Sorry, guys. Can't help it. She's great. But anyway, yeah, the dude duck. So I actually went to the dude ranch as a kid.
Of course.
But it was in Colorado.
Mhm.
And that was really interesting experience.
It's where they take you after they take you out of the nursery, right? In Texas? That's right.
No.
Okay.
We went I think I was middle school age, and I
Okay.
had to sit in the back of an Oldsmobile with
A late bloomer.
yeah, driving, road trip.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very nice.
road trips. But anyway, dude ranches are so fun. So go check out Donald.
Dude.
Having his experience, of course, it's not going to be perfect because we're talking about Donald.
Yes.
And mine wasn't actually perfect either. I have a little scar from it. We can worry about that another time.
So true.
All right. And then moving on to 2011, the 18th Annual International Flower and Garden Festival begins at Epcot. This
There you
was
go.
such a cool year because this was the first year that HGTV got involved and started, filming all that there was to see with the
Can you
flower and
imagine
garden.
that? HGTV broadcasting right from Epcot for the Flower and Garden.
Yeah.
Just so cool. And starting this week,
Yes.
all
This-
over again. There's some great new ears out that are very like silk flower, but a little bit
Yeah.
softer than silk flower.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's kind of interesting
exceptional.
because they look like ears that people have been selling like on Etsy and
Indeed,
stuff. Like a knot
indeed,
to it,
of course.
Which I like. I mean, they're softer.
And they are
Floral.
this year's version of some more silk flower arrangements in the past. So it's not like
Yeah.
something they're just like venturing into, but this
Right.
year's silk ears are nice.
I think
Silk
so.
flower ears.
I think so. So then March 3rd, 1995, the Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye attraction officially
Yeah.
opens at Disneyland.
Yep.
Yeah, so 1995. It's been around for quite some
Very
time.
appropriate.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
cool ride that we have not ridden, but we have seen
Yeah.
many times. Like
But
we want to ride.
we pretend that we've ridden because when you ride Dinosaur in Animal Kingdom, it's the.
It's
My
exact.
understanding is that it is almost identical.
Right?
It leaves us always in reverence, hoping
Yeah.
that that whole area will become an Indiana Jones area.
I think something's gonna have to happen because they took out a whole attraction there. So it's just like a hole.
I'm for
it doesn't feel right.
I'm either for converting that whole area into Indiana Jones, and there are several movies planned, or converting the whole area into Wakanda. So one or the other. I think that
I'm for Indy because you can keep the archaeology part.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm for Indy as well. But I feel like the environment and the layout of that ride lends itself to a Wakanda ride. So
could.
Yeah. But it's an Indy ride in Disneyland. And a great name, a whole nother narrative in the canon of Lucasfilm's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to come up with another one?
There's several. There's 3 more planned right now.
Well, there you go.
So that's why it's potentially, Dino Land gonna be Indyland. So.
Yeah. Okay. And then moving on to March 4th, 2020, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opened. Oh, yes. That was amazing. We have an opening day video on our channel you could check out. It was just amazing day.
3:30, 4 a.m. arrival. Just awesome.
We got to meet lots of fun people that day, and it was a great day. So really special. The ride, we love it. What do you guys think of it? We really love it. We just rode it the other day with our family that were visiting. Yes. And it was so fun, and they loved it. And I love watching new people who've never ridden it, their reaction to the ride, because I really feel like it's surprising. Yeah,
it was exceptional. I mean, just to be clear, I mean, we're talking about opening day. So what happened opening day? Well, I mean, we posted a video, but we all were lined up, and the park wasn't to open until 8 or 9, and they let everybody in that had lined up, walked us right down to Mickey and Minnie,
so
full greeting. All
and then
cast
after
out.
we rode the ride, all the people who worked on the ride were there cheering and waving and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to cry.
It was exceptional.
Go watch the video.
It was so wonderful.
It was so sweet.
And Josh Tomorrow was out there greeting.
Meet him. That was really
The
special.
merch was epic. Some of the best merch rollout. I mean, obviously we got Galaxy's Edge, but this was an attraction. And the merch was on.
We made
whistles, caps.
new friends.
Oh my goodness, yes.
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 It was a
so
really
many.
special day. And I think it gave us that strength we needed because, right after this, things changed. So we didn't get to other parts, but we had this amazing energy from the opening of
and a memory of what things were right before.
Yeah, we're getting there, right? We're excited.
Honestly, guys.
Yeah.
it feels pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close
really
to back.
Good, for sure. And then moving on.
And Disneyland out there. I see you guys talking about Disneyland and even questioning is this back to normal? Is this in your content? And it's it does. It takes a little while. But you do get there. So.
Yes. And then March 5th, 1983, the Journey into Imagination attraction officially opens at Epcot.
There
1983
you go.
With the Dreamfinder and Figment and
bucket up there of legend this month. That's this month in this quick month.
Yes, and One Little Spark.
There you go.
So that was a very catchy tune.
Yes.
So this is absolutely. This was the Imagination Pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah. Awesome. And it had gone through some refurbishment and some hoped refurbishment. I mean, if there's any doubt, take, some of the profits from the popcorn buckets and give them right to the ambassador of that, Figment, a little update. Because Marvel did such a great job with the story in Figment 1 and 2 of, when Disney acquired Marvel, they produced 2 series of Figment, and the story in there and the art is just exceptional and could easily inspire a reboot of the original. So
what do you guys think? Are you guys interested in a reboot of Figment?
Of course.
As long as they keep it Figment, right? Maybe you're not. Maybe you want it to stay the same.
What? No.
Possibly.
No.
Okay, they have their own opinions. All right, moving on to 2010, Disney's dark fantasy adventure, Alice in Wonderland.
There you go.
This was Tim Burton, and it was actually presented in IMAX 3D.
Yes.
So it was one of those back in 2010.
One could say it was almost like the IMAX era.
It was. There's
You know,
so
we
many
just
IMAX.
assumed that it was the future and here to stay, but the Fed kind of a little. I mean, we still appreciate it and enjoy it, but I'm saying the
everything
hype.
is just made in IMAX
Yeah,
quality
right.
now, right?
Yeah. And you choose the screen format.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, we were so excited about it.
It was so
Now
exciting.
we take it for granted.
But this
already.
was a great. I mean, we enjoyed this film. I thought
Yeah.
it was beautiful. I liked it better than the second one, but I still like the second one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we like Tim Burton. We're Tim Burton's fan.
Yeah,
Not
same.
everybody likes, you know, his work, but I love it. It's
It was
art,
a
it's
wonderful
beautiful.
time.
Yeah,
It was a
for
wonderful
sure.
time.
And then lastly, March 6th, full circle. We're back to March 6th,
Okay.
1988. The city of Marceline, Missouri, the future boyhood home of Walt Disney is incorporated. So 1888. Yeah.
There you go.
Then, of course, this is what, you know, Main Street USA is based off of, and just what he was going for with that feel of Marceline, for sure. And these were very memorable times and influenced Walt, and so much
Some
of what
could say,
the Disney company became.
yeah, some could say our Main Street, born March 6th, 1888.
88. That's cool, for sure. But yeah, that's it for
Thank
this
you.
week. We've got a
Fun
lot to
week.
talk about. We want to hear what you guys think in the comments. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.